I think the challenge and more fun in the creativity of cooking is maybe taking things that is available to everyone and creating something that's quite unique or special or tells a story of who you are as an individual, as a chef. That's kind of more what I play on. Yeah. I'd rather just get ingredients that's available to everyone and just play on techniques and things that I've learned through my time working in different restaurants and studying in Japan, to then just bring something that is somewhere in the middle of traditional Japanese and also me as a person and who I am in terms of my cooking. My name is Christopher Restrepo. I'm a sushi chef and I started Kurisu Omakase in January this year. For me, Kurisu Omakase is a dining experience which focuses on the traditional Japanese omakase, which means I leave it up to you. So the chef creates the entire menu. So Kurisu Omakase is based off that, but I do something a little bit different where I do what I call Yoropamai. So I specialize using European source fish and all the different techniques and things that we have available to us in European flavor to kind of not restrict me in my creativity as well. I think I'm really fortunate to be accidentally born by a Colombian and Thai person. Because what that's done for me, growing up anyway, was to consistently find a sense of identity, because I'm too Asian for the Latinos, I'm too Latinos for the Asians, so I always had to kind of craft my own way. And particularly when you look at sushi, when you look at its history, a lot of Japanese people migrated to Latin America, so that's why we have the Nikkei food we have at the moment, the modern Peruvian style, including a lot of Japanese techniques. So someone who grew up in a Japanese restaurant who is Latino and also from Southeast Asia, it just made sense to just take my love and then include my own cultures into it. My parents had the restaurant Ichiban Sushi when I was a kid. So when I was 7 years old, they opened a restaurant. I grew up around just Japanese cuisine, helped them out here and there, just serving tables, just doing little bits to help out the family. And I just fell in love with Japanese cuisine, the culture, their attention to detail, and so many philosophies and ways that they just have out there. So I took the time to go out to Japan and study, and I trained in the Tokyo Sushi Academy. And to be honest, it was a life-changing experience. It just solidified what I wanted to do and gave me a bit more clarity of the style in which I want to pursue. I guess when I was in Japan, my curiosity was piqued. So when I came back, I helped out 1 or 2 days in my mum's place, but I really wanted to find part-time work in central London and other high-end restaurants just to pick up different styles, different techniques, and just see what else is available out there in the current market and see whether what I do will stand strong against those, or just trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do from there. People naturally want to be included in their dining, in their decision making. They want to know what they're having. But the beautiful thing about an omakase is that you are instilling your trust within the chef. Someone who has been working on their craft, perfecting and trying out different techniques and styles for the past 10, 15, 20, up to 40 years, depending on which chef you're speaking to. Like an omakase as well, when you think about it at the end of the day, it's almost like a frustrated girlfriend, you know? Okay, cool, what you're doing is nice, you take me out, you do this and that, but what's new? It's always about what's new. We're creatures of habit. So when you go to restaurants, you order something, you like it, you're gonna order that for the next 10 years you go there. With the omakase, it kind of forces you to try things you generally wouldn't try. So I think it can open you up to more food experiences and kind of can open you up to things that now you're willing to try when you go to other restaurants. You can go somewhere for 10 years. Let's say a dish that's squid, you don't like squid because of its texture. All of a sudden you went to somewhere and you enjoyed squid in a completely new preparation. Now you're gonna feel more interested or kind of more confident to go and try this dish. Do you know what I mean? And you might find something amazing that you've been overlooking for 10 years because you want the chicken. Ooh, that's something that, I love this omakase concept. Yeah, I force people to try things they won't try, in preparations they won't try. Like, I can have a guest, for example, that can come here 3 times. By the 3rd time, it's kind of like, okay, it was amazing the 1st time because it was new. Now it's kind of, this is a standard. So now I have to keep topping myself in certain ways. And that's the biggest challenge, but it provides satisfaction when you finally make something new that's nice, that people truly enjoy. For me, I've always been kind of a creative person. I've always liked drawing. I wanted to get into music and many different array of artistic outlets. And when I kind of really got into cooking and then I studied in Japan, so when I noticed that it was more of an art form, and every single thing you get is unique. So for example, let's say I was to get a delivery of a mackerel today. I can get 3 mackerels. One will be really fatty, one will be very lean, one will be somewhere in the middle. Then size varies as well. How much would I salt it? How much would I cure it in vinegar? So all of those things about trying to get the peak flavor from each fish or each product you have, and just trying to find a way that just makes it good, you know what I mean? It's just that thing where no matter how many times you've done something in the kitchen, you're only as good as your last dish. So you have to always kind of be sharp. Yeah, you can have a good menu and you can have something that people will be happy with, but when it comes to an omakase, particularly where it's a chef's choice, it's like you can't have a chef then run the same menu for the past 5 years. You know, you have to change, you have to be creative, you have to show your development, your growth as a person, and that will also show your growth in your food. So it's a very holistic idea of growth in general when it comes to food. The most fun for me actually is the scallop that I developed recently, because I found that depending on the cut, the depth, and where you put the cut, it actually changes the shape of it too, and it's just fun to kind of challenge myself. How many cuts can I get on one piece of scallop? And so far I've got like 22, which was really cool, and I'm just trying to push it just for fun. So this is just like the kitchen is my gym. You know, every day when I work on tuna, for example, or I'm preparing it a certain way, it feels like I'm going to the gym and working my biceps. When I'm working on salmon, it's just different things. It's muscle memory, not muscle memory, but it's repeating the idea to just refine your technique and way of doing a particular thing. And practice makes perfect. So you can, and as I mentioned about the fish, they all come in differently every time. So through your experience, through your years of knowledge, you know how to treat it a certain way. Some people won't care and they'll be like, okay, salmon, sushi, done. But if you notice these little changes, you can draw out certain things as well, which just can take that one piece of sushi from something that's really nice or good to something that's excellent. And it's just trying to find those small little gaps where I can turn something good to excellent. I think that it's totally fine to play and manipulate flavors, or in essence create something new that tells your own story, but at the same time we still have to respect where the traditions have come from. I mean, when you look into history anyway, everyone's helped each other with food. Like we all associate, I tell my customers here all the time, we associate tempura with Japanese cuisine, but actually if you look in history, it originated from the Portuguese. So we've all helped each other out in terms of cuisines. In terms of the chefing world, I liken it very much to just general life. So I think your identity and how you associate yourself with many things can constantly change depending on the experiences you're open to. So for me, I've crafted my identity for 2019. Who am I going to be next year? What lessons am I going to take? What am I going to improve on? What am I going to sit down at 2 in the morning, reflect introspectively about? And then what am I then going to change to make my service either smoother or more fun or more tasty? I think it's a constant learning path of just where it is you want to go and what is your end goal, because everyone's end goal can change. At first my end goal was to open a restaurant or to be fully booked out. Now once I've achieved that, what's the next goal? Once I've achieved this much, what's the next step? Once I know I've made let's say for example a chutoro sushi nigiri nice in 5 different ways, can I make it nice in 9 ways? Can I make it nice in 12? Can I offer my guest that has come here 30 times a different sushi experience every time? And that's kind of part of the identity. Who are you? How far do you want to do? How far do you want to go? How good do you want your food to be? How experimental do you want to be? Do you want to just be good at one style of food or various styles? Do you want to incorporate different styles? Do you want to be a traditional chef? for me personally, I have a different mission actually. In the future, I would like to open a kind of charity in a way, where I want to educate young children about the importance of food, like really having good food. Like, I'm born in Brixton, you know. I went to school, secondary school. When I finished, I'm eating chicken and chips, you know, 6 wings and chips, just like we all love. And sure, it's food that you enjoy, but later on you have to start thinking about your health and the importance of how to get things. A lot of the food that we find that it's very accessible and very affordable to the general public actually it's very unhealthy for you. Do you know what I mean? It's saturated fats, it's a lot of salt, a lot of sugar, things that we are aware of through many studies and everything are causes of cancer. So I kind of want to do that and give a safe space where children can learn how to grow food, how to cook certain basic dishes, and then just if they ever needed, I would love to have just a little safe space with chefs that can just work together, teaching each other, and these kids can also come and learn basics of cooking from people with different styles, so they're not just restricted to having certain simple, easy to cook dishes. There's a variety where they can feed themselves, be sustainable, be healthy. And of course, when you're healthy, your whole system works well, your mind works better as well, so it just makes more sense to just really educate them from the ground up. Everything you put into your system has an effect on you. And unless we're really telling people or educating or giving them the opportunity to see the difference or try different things, that's only when we'll be able to really make a change, I find. So that's kind of what I would like to do as an end goal. As of now, I just want to serve good food and hope that people enjoy it and come back. Well guys, yeah, if you like what you've seen so far and interested in dining with me, you can book us on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Kurisu Omakase, and hopefully you enjoy what it is that I provide. Arigatou gozaimasu.